Hello there, welcome. So, the Ridley Scott historical epic trailer for the historical epic movie that is about to release in November has arrived. So there's a few things to unpack here. As an avid fan of the first film, the OG Gladiator movie, I am both looking forward to this film, but I am also slightly skeptical. I am no stranger to cinema, and sequels to older movies do indeed have the best track record. Some of them are good, but many of them are just, in my opinion. We don't really need a sequel to the original Swords and Sandals genre cinema epic. But since the movie industry has become so creatively bankrupt during the last decades, and now has to rely so much on sequels and prequels so that they don't have to make new shit, I guess it's okay. I just hope that this sequel doesn't ruin the world that the story is set in, and therefore souring the experience of the first movie that I hold so dear to my heart. But at least be glad that the original concept for the sequel never happened. That would for sure be gut-wrenchingly terrible to feature on the screen. In my humble opinion, of course. The original idea was that Maximus died and woke up somewhere in Elysium, the Roman/Greek afterlife, where he was met by a bunch of Roman gods. They gave Maximus an ultimatum that would be a no-brainer for him, really. This mission involved killing a rogue god, so that he could reach Elysium to be with his murdered wife and son afterwards. So he was sent back to Earth via a portal, so that he could kill this rogue god. Then, the villain of the story would most likely be an evil Lucius, the little kid from the first movie. He turned out to be just as bad as his uncle, if not worse. And then it would be some kind of war involving Maximus and his new pro-early Christianity army versus evil Lucius and his pro-Roman gods army that would fight throughout the wars included in every century, with the likes of First World War, Second World War, the Vietnam War, until we reach the modern day where Maximus all of a sudden works at the Pentagon. It didn't really catch on that well, so to speak. There's a reason why it didn't get made. And I'm so glad it didn't happen. So, if this movie doesn't do well, at least I can still be happy, because this original idea didn't come to fruition. In this new version of Gladiator II, the movie that is being made now is not that story in the slightest, it seems. In this legacy sequel, it seems that the story keeps the more grounded and reality-based vibe. The trailer shows an older Lucius, a rageful Lucius, played by Mescal. He's not played by the same kid, for some reason, but I digress. With a grown-up Lucius as the main character, he's choosing to live up to Maximus's legacy as a certified and bona fide badass with class. I just hope that Lucius won't be a full-on copy-paste of Maximus, character-wise. I hope that he is different enough to be his own person. In the trailer, we see some old armor pieces and weapons that Maximus used 24 years ago, neatly hanging on the wall. Some pretty good clues that Rome honored Maximus even so long after his death. We also see a pair of pale and red-headed emperors. As a redhead myself, it's nice to have some representation. They seem to be worse than Commodus, but that's just my understanding from all their screaming and their ill-looking eyes. Are you guys okay? The Colosseum is also filled with water and ship battles, something that the Romans actually did in real life. So that's gonna be so cool to see. But it was never something I thought I would see in a movie. Denzel Washington seems like he's gonna have a pretty big role in the movie, being the new Gladiator fighting manager, perhaps? If there's something I know, a little Denzel never goes wrong. Pedro Pascal seems to be the big final boss, the target for Lucius's goal to achieve something, and he does indeed seem like such a badass as well. I would be absolutely terrified to step into the ring with this guy. I love Pedro Pascal, so possibly seeing him as a villain is quite fun. I also noticed in the trailer that there's flashbacks included. It's weird to see another boy portraying a young Lucius after so many rewatches of the original. Especially when the flashbacks are supposed to take place straight after the end of the first movie. But it's understandable, since it's a 24-year-old movie, after all. I just hope that the movie doesn't rely too much on flashbacks. Because let me tell you, I have seen too many series and animes with god-awful flashbacks. So they can be quite triggering to some anger issues of mine, if not used sparingly. But that's just preference, of course. Gladiator II could go in one of two ways, as far as I can tell. Either it goes down the path where the last Matrix movie ended up, where they wanted to go for an homage-filled sequel that was going to familiar places, but still feel kinda fresh, but ended up being a plain copy of the first Matrix movie, where the recycled ideas weren't even done that well at all. They were done way worse this time around. The movie could end up like Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which turned out to be an okay movie that was quite forgettable. Or it can go the path where the legacy sequels to both Top Gun Maverick and Blade Runner 2049 went down, where the story of the sequel is somewhat dependent on the audience to have seen the original movie in order to get a better standing point to understand the premise of the new story of the sequel to the fullest. As they continue the plots in some way, they also do their own thing. And in my opinion, Top Gun Maverick and Blade Runner 2049 manages to amplify the story of their first movies so that it was more enjoyable, since it leads to something even better. But if you have any thoughts on the subject, please leave a comment on this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. One thing I absolutely didn't like in the trailer though is the music. I mean, it's okay, but why? Why? It's so jarring to hear modern hip-hop music in a trailer for a movie set in the year 200-ish AD.
And it completely took me out of the trailer.
The art of trailer editing is an art form that I don't fully understand, and probably never will. But I think it would have worked better if they used some music from the original score of the movie. Or at least put in some Woodkid. His music is top-notch in these scenarios. Just check out the cinematic trailer for Assassin's Creed Revelations. But please don't put in music that doesn't fit with the tone and the vibe of the movie when you're trying to promote a period piece movie. But well, that's all I have for today. I'll probably make more Gladiator-related videos closer to the release date of Gladiator II in November. So look at this as a warm-up of sorts, and then we'll see what kind of sequel it turns out to be. If you like this video, please check out some other videos I have made in the past, and perhaps consider subscribing to find more videos in the future. Fare thee well for now!